On behalf of the San Antonio A&M Club, welcome to this year's Coaches Night event. My name is Logan Richter, class of 2005, Vice President of the San Antonio A&M Club. Like many of our events in 2020, we've had to get creative, make adjustments on the fly in order to continue to provide events for our members. This year we've had a virtual muster, virtual Monday lunch, and now a virtual Coaches Night. Unfortunately, our Coaches Night chair was unable to make it to this event, which is why I'm standing here today. I would like to thank this year's Coaches Night Chair, Reagan Freiling, for all the hard work that he and his committee have put together to make this event possible. I would also like to thank the Association of Former Students, Aggie Athletics, and Coach Fisher for helping us to coordinate this year's event. Coaches Night is historically our largest fundraiser. Our last two Coaches Night events have had an attendance of 1,000 Aggies gathering at the Expo Hall for an exciting night of Aggie Fellowship in anticipation for the upcoming football season. This major fundraiser has raised on average of over $100,000 in the last couple of years to support the San Antonio A&M Club Foundation and our scholarship program. Although this is a difficult year for fundraising, your continued support is greatly appreciated. We wish that we could have all gathered together in person this year to see Coach Fisher and hear about his plans for the 2020 National Championship run, but it just wasn't in the plans. We will continue to make the most of this year and plan to see you guys next year at our Coaches Night event in 2021. I would like to now introduce our club president, Bill Hill, class of '84. Thanks for tuning in. Beat the hell out of COVID-19 and beat the hell out of Vanderbilt.
Howdy, Ags. My name is Bill Hill, class of '84, your San Antonio A&M Club president. And as president, I'm going to give you a San Antonio A&M Club update. Wow, 2020. What a year. Do I need to say anything more? Well, it started out with big plans in 2020. Our big focus for the year was to gather enough money and to begin our renovation and expansion project for Aggie Park. So we had big plans, and then COVID-19 hit. And essentially what happened was in March, once the pandemic hit, all events were either postponed or canceled, including Monday lunches. Well, we took that hard for a little bit, and then after about 5 or 6 weeks, we said, we can't let COVID-19 rule 2020, and we've got to get back together as a club and keep things going. So, thanks to our Vice President, Logan Richter, we began a virtual Monday lunch program, and the first Monday lunch we had was on May 4th. We've had some outstanding speakers, and I highly recommend that if you get a chance, go back and look at some of those speakers. And you might want to review those virtual Monday lunches. So some of our speakers include Coach R.C. Slocum. We had General Ramirez, the Commandant of Corps of Cadets. We had Billy Lucci, and we had Ross Bjork, the Athletic Director. Fantastic programs. I think you'll find them very enjoyable. In addition to them, there's a lot of great Ags and speakers we've had. Highly recommend you do that. Now look, we hope to get back to Aggie Park and meet in person for Monday lunches beginning in October. But we've got a couple notable speakers I want to highlight that are coming up in September, and I hope you'll join us on Monday beginning at noon for these speakers. So on the 21st of September, we have Danny Pugh, the Vice President for Student Affairs at Texas A&M. He's going to be speaking to us about the many challenges of getting students back at A&M, some of the activities that are having and how they're dealing with student life back at A&M, especially the Corps Cadets. He has oversight of the Corps as well. And then following that, on the 28th of September, Graham Weston. You'll remember he was the former CEO of Rackspace. He's got a fascinating story. He's going to share with us some of that story as he emerged from A&M, and then he went on to success with Rackspace. Join us for those Monday lunches. Stay tuned for a notice to get back to Aggie Park, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Hopefully this COVID-19 will stay suppressed and we'll be able to meet soon. Hey, look, despite all the challenges in 2020, we've actually had 3 events which have far exceeded previous events and in terms of attendance and participation and volunteer, and I want to highlight those. Just goes to show you how strong the San Antonio A&M Club here at San Antonio is. First, I want to start out with Aggie Muster. April 21st, we held Aggie Muster here at Aggie Park on April 21st, but unfortunately, it wasn't open for the public attendance. So we recorded that, we posted it on our webpage, and typically Aggie Muster, we have about 600 participants here at Aggie Park. It's a fantastic program. Well, we replicated the same thing, and I'm proud to announce that as of a couple of months ago, and the number's probably gone up, but we had 1,164 Aggies that watched and participated in our Aggie Muster here 2020. Think about that. That is double the number of participants we normally have here at Aggie Park in person. So thank you for all you attending, and I hope it was a meaningful program as always. Normally we have Aggie Family Barbecue in April. We had to postpone that this year, and thanks to some innovative ideas from some of our board members, we were able to have a similar event. We called it Aggie Park Barbecue. We had 50 to 100 volunteers throughout the day that came, and they prepared barbecue, including the Aggie Women's Club, who put together, I can't remember how many pounds of potato salad, but a lot of volunteers, a lot of great cooking was done, and we prepared 896 barbecue plates. And a lot of you folks that are watching this, I'm sure took part of that. In addition to the barbecue plates, it was a drive-by. Basically, we had an assembly line here at Aggie Park. We had people on the grills. We had people preparing the foods. We had beans being made. Potato salad was dished out, put in containers, and we had a drive-through assembly line there where people came and got their plates. Again, 896 plates, of which 400 plates went to first responders in the local areas. That's emergency room workers, that was police and fire from local cities and municipalities. So you should be very, very proud of that. Again, typically we have 400 or 500 people come to Aggie Family Barbecue. This year's event, almost 900 participants, so fantastic. The golf tournament. We just wrapped up the golf tournament on September 10th. What a beautiful day it was. It was nice, cool. It was like the first day of winter, it seemed like. But the rain held off, and we had 140 golfers. So typically we have about 90 golfers. So this post-COVID-19, Aggies want to get together with Aggies. We had a great, fantastic day. Played golf, had fun, had barbecue. We had lunches donated by Anne Marie's, and it was fantastic box lunches. And then we shared barbecue afterwards. So congratulations to all the Aggies that participated in those three events and making those highly successful. The next big event we have is the annual Skeet Shoot. That's going to be October 30th at San Antonio Gun Club, right downtown San Antonio. Again, mark it on your calendar, October 30th. Skeet Shoot usually starts around noon, lasts through the afternoon. Should be beautiful weather for that. Come join us for that Skeet Shoot and that fundraiser. I'm going to close by just giving you an update on the capital campaign. At this point in time, we have raised approximately $1.1 million out of our $1.6 million goal. A lot of that has been made possible by the Mays Family Foundation's matching grant of $450,000. So of that, we have raised $200,000, and we have $250,000 to go. Again, $250,000 to raise will be matched by the Mays Foundation. That'll take our $1.1 million to 1.6, and we will meet our goal for the fundraising and enable us to renovate and expand Aggie Park, which is needed. All right, so what does that mean? That means I need 25 Aggies to stand up and donate $10,000. Or, if you're not able to do that, I need 250 Aggies to donate $1,000. And look, if you can't do that, every donation is important. And if you've already donated, I would ask you to consider donating again. Now, we've been on this capital campaign for almost 2 years now. And so if you are in a position to where you can give to Aggie Park, I encourage you to do that. It's a great cause, and you're not going to believe what Aggie Park is going to look like and how it's going to be postured when we get this thing done. Okay, COVID-19 caused us to pause our fundraising activities. I'm happy to report that people are learning to live with COVID-19. We at San Antonio A&M Club are adjusting as best we can. And I hope that this Coaches Night will help kickstart our capital campaign for the renovation and expansion project at Aggie Park again. So, again, just one last reminder, if you can't contribute now, you can make a pledge. We're taking pledges up to 4 years. So you want to donate $5,000 to Aggie Park? Donate $1,000 now and pledge $4,000 over the next 4 years. We will be able to use that $5,000 pledge and donation as a matching fund with the Mays Foundation. Want to donate $10,000? Remember, I need 25 $10,000 donations. All right, that is $2,000 a year for the next 5 years, including this year. Well, look, Ags, I hope you enjoy the rest of Coaches Night. Hope that that was an okay club update. Right now, we're going to watch a short video on the capital campaign. Thanks, and gig 'em Ags.
You know, you'll recall when Coach Fisher came, his first trip to San Antonio, we brought him to Aggie Park to speak to the San Antonio A&M Club, obviously, and he said, you know, I heard that San Antonio had a real facility, but I had no idea, you know, and he'd, I'm sure, been told stories of Aggies all over the place, but the surprise and the delight of having this facility, this land, made a big statement. You know, he knows we're for real. We're for real. So, anyway, it was kind of fun.
Baylor doesn't have a place, or Texas doesn't have a meeting ground. Nobody, okay? But A&M. Now, how did that happen? It was just because of some Aggies that wanted to have a place to get together and have a good time. So, come join the good time, you know, that's all you can say. and you're missing a hell of a lot.
This is ours. Texas A&M is not ours. This is ours. And we need to be stewards of our ownership. And by that being said, we need to take care of it. We need to improve it. It's us being stewards, we have a responsibility to not let this place deteriorate.
This is a fantastic facility. It's got a lot of history behind it. There are some significant safety issues and some things that need to be done just in safety renovations.
Yeah, you know, for us guys, we'd be happy with a bathroom that looked like a horse stall. We're fine with that. But if you really want to get more women into this place, we probably need to take it up a notch or two. It's time that we go ahead and renovate completely interior and exterior and get this place to the next level.
If you lived in a house for 50 years, you wouldn't not do some renovations to your house, right? Things get broken and you need to do some construction to fix those up. But then you go, oh, you know what? I've had this wallpaper for 25 years. Wallpaper's out now, and so's, you know, the avocado countertops. I need some marble these days, you know? So you still update your home. So it has to be done, you know? And we need to do it here. There's no question about it. We need to do it, from the restrooms to some of the safety systems that we need to install so that we have a safe gathering place as well.
You have mom and dad's home, you have your own home, and then you have your Aggie home. And in San Antonio, if you're involved with Aggie Park, you would consider this your Aggie home. So,
I need people to depend on whenever I'm either going through a situation or trying to find answers to something, and I found that here at Aggie Park.
And this was my home when I moved here to San Antonio, basically. This is where I met a lot of friends. You know, my best man at my wedding I met through A&M Club and one of the events. So I like to say I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Aggie Park, since this is where my parents met.
And to this day, it still feels like home. And I love what they have done to it, and I love what they're planning to do with it, because the next generation will be the beneficiaries, just like we were from the people that started Aggie Park when there was nothing. And we were so grateful in the 50s and 60s and 70s and all to have this home.
It is, it's home. It's where we do life so much. It's where we come and watch football games. It's where we share meals. It's where we share life. And you've got a lot of kids that, like Logan, who grew up here. He came from a toddler stage, and now he's future president of the club. It's family. It absolutely is. It's your extended family.
And if we can raise $325,000, that will be matched by the Mays Foundation Family Grant. And then that will take us to the $1.6 million.
If everybody that has been affected by just coming into this facility would give a little bit, we would meet our goal in no time.
San Antonio and Aggies especially are just so proud of where they come from, and just being able to have the best possible Aggie Park in San Antonio is obviously the goal. And just like having to actually buy in and donate with our challenge grant, it makes everyone in San Antonio have to be a part of this. And being able to buy in just gives people such a sense of pride in the Aggie community and the San Antonio community, and just makes everything so much more special.
It's time for Aggies to continue to step up, and they always do. I've never seen them not.
To make a donation today, go to aggiepark.com and click on the donate button on our menu bar. You can make a one-time donation, or you can make a pledge. The Mays Family Foundation will match it dollar for dollar, which will have an immediate impact on this project and help us achieve our goal. We really appreciate your support, and thanks and gig 'em.
My name is Des Dickey. I'm a senior ag leadership major from San Antonio, Texas, and I'm the loudest and proudest member of the Fighting Texas Ag Class of 2021. Hey, whoop! You know, Texas A&M is the only cadet-run corps, at least in the nation, probably the world, and it's cool getting to serve in leadership positions these past 2 years and make decisions that actually affect people. It's a lot of weight, and it's definitely stressful at times, but I think that's an experience that no other student organization could have given me. It's something I'm super grateful for. Get a little bit crooked to move them slightly that way. I hate being the bad guy, and that's unfortunately just a part of the job, is holding people accountable. So, you know, you're definitely tough on them. You make them do push-ups when they make mistakes, but you're also checking in on them in the evenings, making sure they're doing okay. You're tracking their tests, and you're asking them every time they take a test what score they got and how they're going to improve that in the future, and being hard on them and challenging them, but also getting to invest in them and show them that you do care about them. That was kind of my sophomore and junior year, and then this year I'll be commanding officer, so you want them to have the same experiences that you did, and you want them to love A&M and love the Corps and love like your specific squadron and find that as a family for them, you know, a home away from home. So there's stuff even now that, you know, we tell our freshmen like, you know, and I think every senior class does this, but it's like, we had to do this and this and this and this, you know, and you guys only have to do this and that. So I think I'll probably be that old ag that just tells all the stories about all the stuff we had to put up with. I'm sure they'll get more exaggerated every decade, but yeah, I'm definitely going to the Air Force. That's already decided. I've, you know, sworn in, I've been to field training, things like that. I'll go off to pilot training when I graduate, and I'd like to do combat search and rescue, where they're able to deploy from their base to go and help people wherever is needed around the world. So sometimes that could be aerial firefighting, where they'll go and put out fires like in Australia. And just because of the nature of the C-130 and its variants like the HC-130, they're able to land in all kinds of areas. So it doesn't need to be a runway. They can land on like jungle terrain or desert or dirt, things like that. So they're able to go into some tough places that we aren't able to reach with other planes, and they're able to get some resources out there that are really crucial. Having to have my dad help me, you know, tuck in bobby pins and stuff like that the first time I came here in December of my freshman year to speak at Aggie Park, versus, you know, now getting to come in boots, and it feels like the past 3 years just went by so quickly. But Thank you so much for all of y'all's support. I know I say it every time I'm here for in December for the Monday luncheons, but seriously, it's definitely financially is extremely helpful. But also, just getting to know all of you guys and just getting to see how much you guys care about the Aggie family encourages me so much, and shows me that the Aggie family just is so strong even outside of Aggie land. I think the fact that you guys all come together and raise so much money every single year to send Aggies to college is just incredible and such a testament to the Aggie family. So thank you guys so much for all that you do and for just working so hard to create that bond within Aggie Park. Thanks and gig 'em.
Howdy. On behalf of the Association of Former Students and our worldwide Aggie Network, I want to welcome you to our virtual Coaches Night. Without a doubt, 2020 has been a year that has required us to adapt and be innovative in our programming. Coaches Nights are yet another example of how we've been able to continue traditions and programs in the face of unprecedented challenges. I want to thank Coach Fisher and Texas A&M Athletics for their continued partnership on this program, and also commend our A&M Club leadership for their flexibility. Coaches Nights annually help our clubs raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for scholarships and help them to fulfill their mission of serving Texas A&M. In a year where life is anything but normal, our Aggie spirit and traditions provide a sense of the familiar and a refuge from the uncertainty around us. Earlier this year, the Association of Former Students brought you Muster Live, which allowed Aggies around the world to unite for Aggie Muster, even when we couldn't physically gather together. We also revamped our ring distribution process and safely delivered more than 6,500 Aggie rings this spring in the midst of a near statewide shelter in place. In May and August, we welcomed more than 12,000 new graduates into the Association of Former Students virtually. And later this month, we'll celebrate a socially distanced ring week with more than 4,800 ring recipients. Throughout 2020, we've been forced to pause, adapt, and innovate. We've reimagined time-tested programs and events and connected with Aggies through new mediums. All of this has been possible thanks to you, the Aggie Network. Your faithful and loyal support through a very difficult year has allowed us to maintain our reach and relevance to the Aggie Network in an ever-changing environment. Tonight, with Coaches Night, we celebrate something very near and dear and normal to us, Aggie football. While there will no doubt be changes to the fan experience in Kyle Field, our support for our team, just like our Aggie spirit, remains undefeated. Thank you for joining us this evening and for your continued support for the Association of Former Students. Gig 'em.
A passion for Aggie athletics is in our blood.
The Aggies are the champs. It's Texas A&M, a three-peat for the Aggies. He got a touchdown! He got a touchdown! He got a touchdown! He got a touchdown!
As we rise to the challenge now facing us, we have the opportunity to emerge stronger than ever.
Left center field. It could be. It is a home run.
The 12th Man Foundation is the fundraising arm of Texas A&M Athletics. Our donors set the stage for our athletic programs and student athletes to compete at the highest level. Through athletic scholarship, we impact the lives of student athletes and their families for generations to come. We are committed to providing first-class service, support, and donor benefits that celebrate our shared passion. We fund the construction of the nation's top facilities to help recruit the best athletes and coaches and make game day in Aggieland an experience unlike anywhere else. As the primary ticket provider of Texas A&M athletics, we help ensure our venues provide a true home field advantage. Donations of all sizes add up to make a big difference for our student athletes. In addition to the edge in competition, vital areas such as academic support, nutritional education, mental health, and sports medicine are among the many aspects of student athletes' lives that are positively impacted by donor support. Aggies stick together and rise to the challenge when facing adversity. With your help, we can bounce back better than ever. In the highly competitive world of college athletics, support from donations and ticket purchases make the difference. Help us reach our championship vision. Join the team today and put your passion for Aggie athletics into action.
Howdy from Aggie Land. I'm excited to be here with you today, although virtually. I would much rather have been with you in person, but we all have to do our part. Our team is preparing as if we were playing in front of a packed Kyle Field, but we know the 12th man will be behind us no matter where they are. AC, I think you have some questions from the 12th man. Let's get into them.
Coach, can you give us your thoughts on keeping the team safe and the measures that you're taking to keep everyone COVID-free, healthy, and playing football?
Well, first of all, I think our medical staff has done a great job from the very beginning. They had a great plan from the university standpoint all the way down to the athletics about the spacing of the rooms, the things we did, the sterilization of things. And our players, early, I think it was a learning curve. I really do. Understanding how important it was to do everything right. Because with this COVID, one little mistake can cost your whole team because it can infect everybody. And in the beginning, it took us just a week or so, but after this, our team has done an outstanding job with the discipline they have had on and off the field, staying away, keeping things almost virtually COVID-free, and very proud of the guys and their efforts and what they've done.
The majority of the student athletes taking combination classes online and then in the classroom. How has that transition been on your team and the academic team? You know, one thing, most of our guys are computer. Everything's done on a computer now. So you're doing a lot of classes that are online. The guys have all had them, but doing the whole thing online. Some guys it naturally took a life of its own. They jumped on it, did a great job. A couple guys, it takes some time. You know, some guys need the more interaction and because you all learn differently. But now I think everybody's made adjustment. And what I will say is our academic staff has done a tremendous job of providing whatever our kids have needed, and have been there for them, and whatever extra time they need from tutoring to help themselves, have done an outstanding job, and our guys have really taken off once they got used to what was going on. But our academic staff's done a heck of a job. Has strength and conditioning changed at all in light of COVID?
Well, I think what we've done, what we're trying to do is not different. We're having to do it in smaller groups, having to do it, which actually allows for some good things because you get more specific one-on-one coaching that can happen within that group. And then our group are doing a great job of sterilizing everything afterwards and wiping it all down, and then the next group's coming in. And obviously it's worked because we're doing a great job with the COVID right now.
What are your thoughts on playing an SEC-only schedule, and how do you prepare for the two new teams?
Well, I'm excited for it, that's for sure. And I'm going to tell you, the physicality, the depth, and the way you have to get yourself prepared mentally is going to be a huge challenge because this league, the thing about it, people don't realize the physicality of this league, the size of this league, the speed of this league, not to down any other league, but it's the best league in ball. It's the most physical league in ball. That's why it has, you look in the NFL, by far the most NFL players, and over some leagues it's almost 3-to-1. So the week in, week out attrition you're going to have to endure is going to be tremendous. So our bodies and minds are going to have to be in shape, and our depth in developing our young players is going to be critical.
Are there any returning or new players that might have an immediate impact?
Hopefully all of them. But I think there's going to be a bunch of guys that will. I mean, I think up front our returning linemen, but building depth in that group, and I think it's going to be huge. Our receivers are some guys that you haven't heard much about, have played off and on, that are really athletic and long, that can run, that I think you'll be in. And without getting a ton of names, but I'm excited about this team. The young players are coming in. I think I wouldn't throw any of them back. I'll put it that way. I'm very excited. We got every one of them. They all can play. And our older guys are really developing. Our coaches doing a good job. So I think there's going to be significant guys, and we're going to have to play with a lot of players because of the schedule in which we have.
Where do you see your greatest strengths, maybe weaknesses on offense, defense, and special teams?
Well, I think when you bring back the experience you have up front in the offensive line, we have to continue to play better, but we have experience. A four-year quarterback that I think has really done an outstanding job in his leadership and has really developed his skill set in that regard. I think we have athleticism out wide. Have the backs, even though we're young, and moving a nice back there with Isaiah already. I mean, those two guys I think will do a nice job. Defensive front, really some guys that can make an impact in the game right there, in my opinion. Added young depth. Our secondary has grown in that regard. Our linebackers have done a good job. And we got returning our kickers and snappers. So I think we have a good group coming back. We always have to play better, but the development of our young players is going to be critical in creating that competition in practice, which so far it has.
One last question for you, Coach. What are your thoughts on piping in crowd noise at Kyle Field?
Well, I'm all for it. I think the more normal we can make that experience, they do, and I think the SEC is all for it, and I think it does. I mean, it's nothing like playing with the 12th man, and I know we have as good a home field advantage as anybody in ball. I mean, I don't care I've played in every stadium across the country, or most of them. This place is so magnetic on game day, and not having the 12th man there is disappointing for us, but at the same time, we'll try to do as much as we can. I know they're going to be with us off the field, but we need to make it as normal as we can because, hey, we got the best home field advantage in ball.
Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Howdy. I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in for the virtual Coaches Night. Well, let's end it with a Fighting Texas Aggie yell practice. Whoop! Pass it back, Ags. Pass it back, Ags. Hump it, Ags. Hump it, Ags. 1, 2, 3. A-G-G-I-E-S. A-G-G-I-E-S. Hey! Fight 'em, Aggies. Hey! Whoop! Pass it back, Ags. Pass it back, Ags. Hump it, Ags. Hump it, Ags. 1, 2, 3. Farmers fight. Farmers fight. 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 Farmers fight. Hey, whoop! Well, pass it back, Ags. Pass it back, Ags. Beating the hell out of Vanderbilt. Hump it, Ags. Hump it, Ags. 1, 2, 3. Beat the hell out of Vanderbilt. Hey, whoop! Just for good measure, our whole Army does it twice. Pass it back, Ags. Pass it back, Ags. Hump it, Ags. Hump it, Ags. 1, 2, 3. Beat the hell out of Vanderbilt. Hey, whoop! I'd like to thank y'all again for tuning in. Thanks, and gig 'em.